You are listening to the Lady K Show. Everything in health, wealth, and the in-between. Success tips, relationships, health, wellness, entrepreneurship, business insights, leadership, current events. All these things you can find and more on the Lady K Show. Welcome to the Lady K Show. Today on the show, we are speaking to Kevin McKinney, Master Level Addiction Counselor. He has 19 years of addiction specialty. He's been in the settings of prison and hospitals, adolescent center, jail, school systems. I'm just excited to have you back on the show here again. I know we were speaking last week a little bit about addiction, and we're going to continue to get into it a little bit more. Just a little bit more about Mr. McKinney's background here. He's native, got his undergrad from Toledo, a master's from Grand Canyon University in Arizona, and he's the athletic director. He volunteers his time as an athletic director for sports organizations. Welcome to the show, Kevin. Glad to have you back.
Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to be back.
Thank you. I know I really wanted to get into some stuff this week. I know we were talking a little bit about addiction and how it's a big issue and a big problem. But, before I left off last week, I wanted to find out about how is addiction tied to a certain group of people or class of people? Is there anything in the research that suggests that is the case, or what? What is the data out there?
There is actually no data that shares that one particular race or a population of people is involved with just being more accessible to become addicted than any other race or population. I think addiction is widespread. It is not. It does not discriminate white, black, Spanish. Hispanic, Asian, Indian, it doesn't matter, male, female, it doesn't matter at all. There is no particular one people, a person that, that does one thing more than the other, or to say, well, they do it, but this, race doesn't do it. But the thing is, there are certain races that get involved in certain things more than others. Indians, over history and over time, they are real alcohol-based. Hispanics, they're more alcohol-based in a sense, and not to be racial or racist, but that's just it. Different ages and genders. You can find more young people, involving themselves with prescription pill use, the high school age especially. Not necessarily a particular race either, but the young people as well. They are definitely involved in the marijuana use, and not just saying that to them, but they are big with it. They are big on it based on my experience.
Over the past 20 years, have you seen an evolution with addiction or anything that you said, over the past 20 years in my practice, in my studies, this is what I've seen in evolution. Are we becoming a planet that's more addicted to drugs? What's happening? Are we getting better? Are we getting worse? What's going on?
Wow, over the past 20 years, I would say the war on drugs has become scary and dangerous. I tell friends all the time that the generation that I'm dealing with now, the young adults, the teenagers, the school-age kids, it's very, very scary from what I see of them. I see fourth graders using and selling heroin. I see, young teens, 15 years old, addicted to crack cocaine. I see all of these things. It's very, very scary as far as what the future holds of even their children. It's definitely has gotten worse, in my opinion, over the past years. The deal of drug addiction even if I were to just say, because based on the number of areas that I've worked in, with the jail setting, the juvenile detentions, the hospitals, the treatment facilities, and working in schools currently, I would say that I've noticed a huge influx of just, of how the drugs change the behavior of today's kids. And I don't know, it's just my assessment, but there's no data on this, but it's just kind of puts one out, one thinking to be, well, is it that we are getting these kind of kids with, more substance abuse as far as they're dealing with mental health meds. You got kids with ADD and and all of these particular issues where they're on medicine. And just to relate that to back when I was a youth, and I tell kids all the time, we didn't have kids back in '84 that were on meds. We didn't have kids that were dealing with these kind of things that